In this review, I'll be taking a look at the Neca Gargoyles Ultimate Goliath figure. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as hit that like button. Let's start off by taking a look at the packaging. This figure comes in the standard window box packaging found on the majority of Neca Ultimate figures. At the bottom of the front, we get the Gargoyles logo with Goliath Ultimate action figure underneath. Moving up, we are treated to an amazing illustration of Goliath. This makes for one badass packaging. Looking at the side of the package, we get another Gargoyles logo, as well as the Neca logo, and we get a picture of the action figure inside. Turning around to the back, we get a few more product shots of the figure, as well as a little read up. Feel free to pause and read. Here's a look at the other side with a different picture of the figure. And finally, here's a look at the bottom, as well as the top. Upon opening the front flap that is connected by Velcro, we get yet another image of the figure. This time to appear to be gliding over the city. And finally, here we can see the figure with its included accessories. Here's a better view once the clamshell encasing the figure is removed from the package. There are actually two plastic inserts, as the wings are stored in their own tray. Once the figure is fully removed from the clamshell, there is some minor assembly required. The tail has to be attached. It has a peg that plugs into the body. It may be a little difficult to do. If that's the case for you, it might be a good idea to use the warm water or hairdryer trick so you don't accidentally break anything. The next bit of assembly comes in attaching the wings. By moving the hair out of the way, you will see two holes on the upper back. The wings have pegs just like the tail that plug into the holes. For me, the wings seem to be easier to plug in. Now with the wings and tail attached, let's take a closer look at the figure. For fans of the cartoon show, the first thing that you'll notice is this figure is not cartoon accurate. Instead, Neca has chosen to make these gargoyles more realistic in appearance, rather than duplicating what was seen on the show. Personally, as a huge fan of the show growing up, it honestly doesn't bother me. I for one am just glad we are getting new Gargoyles figures. The head sculpt on the body out of the package has a stern facial expression. I do kinda wish it had a happier expression, as both heads included are more menacing. This figure of Goliath is very muscular. While the body is a light purple, there is a darker purple wash over the figure to bring out the muscular sculpting. The claws on the hands are painted a darker purple as well. There are sculpted veins running from the hands up the arms. Looking closer at the wings, they are very well done. Not only are they nicely sculpted, but there is an added wash on them to bring out said sculpting. The wings themselves are sculpted fully extended. While this makes for a very cool display, the downside is this figure will take up a lot of shelf space. The wings are made of a hard plastic. The good thing is Neca has already said the relaxed set of wings are coming with the Bronx figure, which is good. Just kind of sucks they weren't included with this Ultimate figure. Goliath's only article of clothing is that of a brown loincloth with a large black belt. The loincloth is plastic, sculpted to look like a cloth material. And I must say, they did an amazing job. Until I got this in my hands, I actually thought it was a soft goods material. The legs continue the muscular definition of the upper body. The darker purple wash continues as well. Moving down to the feet, the claws are similar to those on the hands. The articulation in the feet allow the figure to stand on the toes as the gargoyles did in the cartoon. I think the execution of how they pulled this off turned out fantastic. There are peg holes on the bottoms of the feet. As with the wings, this wouldn't be a gargoyle without its tail. The tail does come in handy from keeping the figure from falling over. Here's a look at the back side of the figure. The same high level of quality continues. I love how the long hair was sculpted, as if the wind is slightly blowing it. There is also a slight paint wash applied as well. The backs of the wings are just as impressive as the front side. Now let's go over the articulation. The head is able to look slightly up and down. It can also rotate side to side, as well as slightly tilt. Due to the sculpt of the torso, the arms only go about this far. Likewise, they don't seem to want to go forwards or backwards very much either. There is a bicep swivel. The elbows are double jointed and can bend this far. The hands are able to rotate 360 degrees as well as hinge in and out. The torso and waist can both rotate. The figure can also crunch forward and tilt slightly. The legs can go outwards this far. There is upper thigh swivel. The legs can kick forwards this far and backwards this far. At the knees there is a swivel as well as a bend. The ankles are able to rotate and hinge. The toes can also go up and down. The tail has that bendy wire that allows it to be posed in different positions. This helps, like I said, with the standing of the figure. There's also a hinge at the base of the tail, which allows it to go up and down, as well as side to side. The wings are also able to go up and down. Like I mentioned before, they have a ratchet style hinge that makes a loud clicking noise when folding the wings backwards. This is scary as it feels like you are going to break it. I don't think they will break, but proceed with caution. The first accessory up is Goliath's alternate head. This head sculpt has an angry facial expression. The hair itself is the same as the other head. The head is on a ball peg, so to swap, just pop the head off the body and pop the new one on. Here's a look at the figure with the alternate head on the body. This is to replicate the cartoon when the gargoyles would fight or battle. The eyes would become completely white, void of pupils, and the teeth with sharp fangs would be exposed. Personally, I think this head looks a lot cooler, and it's most likely how I will display my figure. Next up is a set of fisted hands. The sculpting and paint are consistent with the other hands. There is also an extra gripping left hand that is for holding onto the accessories. The hands are on a peg, so like the head, just pop the current ones off and pop the new ones on. Here's a look at the fisted hands attached. The next accessory up is the Book of Spells. The detail on this book is so realistic. The sculpted leather of the book, and more importantly, the cracking and damage of the leather, is so nicely sculpted. The book is sculpted open, as turning it around, you can see the written words that occupy the book. Even the pages appear to be aged and worn. With the alternate gripping hand, Goliath is able to hold onto the book. But due to the limited mobility in the head, it is kind of hard to get Goliath to fully look down into the book. The last accessory is a jalapeno. For longtime fans of the show, this is a great little nod to the cartoon. Not only did the characters eat them, but jalapeno became somewhat of a catchphrase throughout the series.
Jalapeno, you're still alive!
Jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
Jalapeno, do I have a headache?
Oh, jalapeno. Forgive me, lad.
You know, these are great. You should try one, Goliath.
Jalapeno! Jalapeno!
Due to the small size, this can easily be lost, so be careful. With the gripping hand, Goliath is also able to hold onto the jalapeno. Now let's compare this figure to some other figures. First up is the original Kenner figure of Goliath. You can see the similarities as well as the drastic differences. Comparing Goliath to some more NECA figures, here is Goliath next to a NECA Predator, a NECA Alien, a NECA King Kong, and a NECA Terminator. Next to some other toy lines, here is Goliath next to a Masters of the Universe Classics He-Man, a Marvel Legends Venom, and finally a Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So that is my review of the NECA Gargoyles Goliath Ultimate action figure. I do really enjoy this figure. The paint and sculpting throughout are top notch in my opinion. As impressive and massive as the wings are, they do eat up a lot of shelf space. As a big fan of gargoyles, I'm just glad we are finally getting new figures at all. Overall, I do highly recommend this figure. Once again, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, as well as click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Hit that like button if you did enjoy this video, and follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Thanks for watching.
We will return with more gargoyles.